I have a lot of Windows XP computers. Some are desktops, some are laptops, and some either shipped with a different OS or have a different OS. In that last category is my Lenovo ThinkCentre M58, which I want to see, is this thing a great Windows XP computer? From my own experience, Windows Vista PCs make for great XP systems, and I want to have a alternative to my beloved HP Compact 6005 Pro. So I think that without further ado, I think we should get started. So first, I feel like we need to get some background. The ThinkCentre was introduced in 2003 with the M50, A50p, and S50 models to replace IBM's NetVista line, and yeah, the name was derived from IBM's successful ThinkPad line of laptops, and they were pretty typical desktops. IBM would proceed to sell its computer division to Lenovo in 2005. This move was met with opposition, however, mainly on national security levels because Lenovo is from the People's Republic of China, but the US government said it was fine. All Lenovo needed to do was set up a base here in the United States, which they did. Fast forward to 2008, and very close to Halloween, Lenovo announced that they were going to be releasing the M58 and M58p models of the ThinkCentre. Lenovo dubbed these their greenest, most secure, and most manageable set of ThinkCentres yet, sporting Intel vPro stuff and software titled Power Manager. Lenovo went on to use an entire paragraph to be like, this thing is very green, it's friendly for use in grade school. Lenovo also said that the computer would be offered in mini tower, SFF, and ultra SFF form factors, and with all this Intel processor and RAM and Windows Vista packaged with the system, Lenovo was asking for $499 for the base model M58, with the M58P being more premium, offered at starting at $899. We're not done with Lenovo press releases, however, because the following year in 2009, in March of that year, they announced the M58E alongside what for this video's sake is unrelated, the ThinkCentre A58. The M58E met incoming Energy Star 5.0 criteria, and that they uniquely designed the ThinkVantage technologies and Lenovo Care tools on the M58E and A58 respectively, so that IT costs and productivity loss were minimized. I also found this interesting. In the press release, you could have gotten a Blu-ray drive from the factory. Mind you, it's 2025 and my desktop computer doesn't even have a Blu-ray drive, it has a DVD drive. But both the M58E and A58 were offered starting at $399, and thus our base model M58 becomes the mid-range model. And so how did the press respond to this? Well, looking at the review of the M58E from PC Mag, the writer stated that it was an entry-level relative of the M58P, where it felt like it, not performing to the same level, but still being relatively middle of the road and getting PC Mag's Green Tech approved rating alongside the M58P. On the other hand, the SFF model of the M58 was reviewed by, actually I'm not sure what this source is. I found an article from a site called Alpha, but Wikipedia had the same review, but it was for a different site, so I don't know. But the point is, the writer of this article, Jonathan Bray, stated it was mostly at first glance unassuming, but praised the device for its internal design and recommending it for its £513 price tag. And with some press insight in mind, let's now look at the computer itself. On the front panel here, we have a disk drive, a blanker slot, another blanker slot for a floppy disk or media card reader, the power button, a USB port, two audio jacks, and another USB port. On the rear, we have the power supply, PS2, VGA, serial, a display port, a set of 6 USBs, an Ethernet port, audio jacks, this spot taking up an expansion card, and expansion slots. How you get inside this computer is quite interesting, as there are no thumb screws. The side panel is toolless, you just press a button and it will basically release, giving you access to the inside. Inside we can see that the power supply is an ACBEL power supply. We have 2 hard drive mounts, and our hard drive in here is on the bottom one, mounting spots for different disk drives and whatnot, your cooling fan, and your PCI and PCI Express card slots. I'm gonna take this off here because I want to show you something interesting here. I'm not sure if this will pop up on camera that well. If you look closely around here, it's not gonna want to focus, but there is a cobweb or something in here. I don't know what kind of spider would want to be living in here because these computers can sometimes get kind of hot, but
Okay.
And now it's time to power this thing on, except I didn't have everything ready yet, and there was also thunder outside. And it's 2025, we don't really need to be too scared of that, even though most of the rain in my area has been really heavy rain with thunder, which isn't a good thing. Now we're going to skip straight to software. In terms of specifications, this thing has an Intel Core 2 Duo E7500 at 2.93 gigahertz and roughly 2 gigabytes of RAM. We're using integrated graphics, integrated sound, and a SATA hard drive. In terms of software, I have iTunes installed on here, more on that in a previous video, OpenOffice.org, Krita. That's primarily all the software that is everyday applications I want to look at, for the most part. Looking at our thermals, this PC runs surprisingly well in terms of thermal stuff at around 41 degrees Celsius. For context, my PC, as I am recording this video, has a GPU at 50 degrees Celsius. But now it's time for a proper test. How well does this PC perform when playing a YouTube video? Because we're expanding the YouTube test to as early as Windows XP computers. After having tested a number of YouTube videos, it kind of struggles to some degree, but doesn't reach 60 degrees Celsius. So that's quite good in my books. And so last but not least, let's get to gaming. The number of games I'm going to be playing is limited to only 3, but don't underestimate those 3 games. Starting off, we have Bejeweled 2. One of my favorite games. It played quite well, but I heard a rattling noise from somewhere in my room while I was playing it. I don't think that this has to do with the PC, but it might have to do with my speakers, as those are quite horrible. Next up, we're going to look at Halo. This PC was able to handle the game quite well, even though it came up with a graphics card error, although, as I explained at the start of the video, this P originally shipped with Windows Vista, so that might be why. However, I did notice some very slight slowdown when consistently opening fire. I have tested this game on this computer before, as this PC is a veteran of the 100 programs on Windows XP experiment, where I tested this game, so honestly, I'm not too surprised by the performance. Last but not least, Toho 8. I'm opting for Toho 8 instead of Toho 7 to change up the mix a bit. Likely due to using the same engine, Toho 8 ran quite well, and I got surprisingly far in this because I accidentally set it to do a full playthrough instead of the practice mode. However, I also have a personal achievement of making it as far as I have for this point in time for the first time in this specific game, Stage 5, though I immediately died and got the game over screen not even 30 seconds into the level. So anyway, let's reach a conclusion. To conclude, this PC was designed to be fairly friendly to the environment when it was brand new. It originally shipped with Windows Vista, but it's not what I have installed, and when doing the downgrade option for putting Windows XP on this thing, I feel like it is quite strong, and that it can properly go head-to-head with my HP Compact. So maybe I should look at a couple more computers like this so I can get some proper benchmarks. But I don't know. That's for another day.